It's 9:03, we're gonna call this Adams County Board of Supervisors to order. Mr. Bradford, would you give us the invocation?
Yes, sir. Let y'all stay. Let us bow our heads. Oh, wise eternal Father, we thank you this morning, oh God, for allowing us to see another day. And Father, we just ask, oh God, that you continue to strengthen our hearts, oh God. Father, we ask, oh God, that you look over our elected, appointed officials of this city, of this county, of this state, and of this country. And Father, we just ask right now, oh God, that you continue to make provisions for our leaders, oh God. Father, continue to keep them from any hurt, harm, or any danger, God. Father, continue to protect them and their families as they go about doing your daily routines, oh God. Father, we just want to pray for our nurses, our doctors in this community, our first responders, our teachers, and our residents, oh God. Father, continue to protect them from any severe heat and anything that may come upon them. Father, we just ask, oh God, that you protect our finances in this county, oh God. Father, continue to open up doors for new businesses. And Father, we just ask, oh God, that you make this county a cornerstone, that people may want to come here and visit this place and move here. And Father, we just ask all these prayers in your precious Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes from June of 2024. Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. In the discussion we had in the executive session about concerns we had, mainly your concerns, but pretty much other board members had some of the same concerns about the garbage, missing, picking up garbage or whatever the case may be. And there was a motion made by Gray Mood to send a letter to inform United Infrastructure that it may be in breach of his contract. The motion that I moved was to send them a letter informing them that they need to come to this meeting about some concerns we had. Now, the terminology, breach of contract, that wasn't part of the motion. And what I saw in the newspaper, that was in the newspaper. The motion that I'm talking about sent a notice of default. That wasn't part of my motion. My motion was to send them a letter about the concerns that we had and for them to come to this meeting where we can discuss it. That was my motion.
So we're asking for correction because I seconded the motion. That was it.
Well, if you're calling them in default, or because of all those things, it is a breach contract.
I understand, Mr. President, but I didn't make that motion. That somebody added on to that and said that, but when I moved that, it wasn't moved because of all that, because I wouldn't have never moved it if that's the case. They say, well, we're gonna send them a letter to let them know that we got some concerns and they need to come before this board. That's the motion I made. The motion part of to send a notice of default to discuss the company's performance. I didn't use that term. And when you making a motion, you can't change the motion to say something that I didn't say, but then that's not my motion. That's all I'm saying. I do agree that they need to come in and talk to us, but that language was not the language that I used. And that's not the language that she said.
Didn't we reference the letter itself that we sent to all the board members as what we were discussing for the motion?
The letter should have been an exhibit, so.
Is that what the letter said originally?
We have a motion and a second to amend the minutes. You got a motion and a second to approve the minutes, and then you have a motion and a second to amend the minutes to reflect that. Is that correct?
Okay, motion on the floor to amend the minutes. Okay, any more discussion about that?
And yes, it was an exhibit to the minutes, or at least it should have been. And that's the draft I had sent out.
Oh, okay, he gonna catch me there. He gonna catch me there, Mr. Attorney. I don't know how long I've been addressing these exhibits that I have no way of knowing what the exhibit is all about because I have no way of reading it. Now, it's been going on for a long time. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about when you get your minutes and you cannot click on the exhibit and read what the exhibits say, but I'm approving minutes, but then that ain't what I said. So I need a clear understanding, and Ms. Page say they working on trying to get it where we can click to read the exhibits or whatever we need to do, because I can't keep making motion and approving minutes when I don't even know what the minutes say.
The exhibits are too large to click on through a link or through an email, so we've set you up on Dropbox, and I think Devontae was supposed to be getting with you to show you how to get your login, because we have to pull them over into Dropbox because the exhibits are so large.
Well, I need my Dropbox because,
Okay, well, I'll meet with Devontae.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, I need a motion.
Carry the motion.
I
No.
just-
Carry the motion.
No, we gotta amend the second motion. Are we approving the minutes?
You have a motion to amend, the first motion to approve the minutes. The motion to amend says that Supervisor Gray asked the board to, and I won't put words in your mouth, to come before the board to discuss some issues. Is that correct?
Yeah, because we were discussing. I didn't send nobody no, well, Mr. Attorney, you sent out something, and what was my response?
Your response, I have to go back and look.
When you sent the
More or less,
email out.
You feel like that most of your concerns have been addressed by.
So why would I make a motion to say that somebody was in breach of contract when the majority of the stuff that comes up in my area is taken care of? So I didn't make that motion. That's what I'm trying to
Yes, sir.
clarify. Thank you.
We need to finish the motion, but the minutes first.
Do we need to finish the
Minutes.
minutes first and then, we
Now,
got.
we need to do it.
All right, now, we're still in discussions. A letter has been sent
So amend the motion.
for what we discussed and what the letter said originally.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that gonna change anything we've done along those lines?
Well, I think what the supervisors want to do right now is bring them before this board and discuss some issues that we have with performance. I don't think that would change, if that's the intention. If you no longer have to put them in default if you correct this motion.
I'm not sure it's such a correction, but do we need to vote on the amendment?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have
Amended
a motion by Mr. Gray and a second by you. Any discussion, any more discussion? Mr. Gaines? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Aye by Mr. Gray, aye by Ms. Hutchins, aye by Mr. Gaines, Mr. Middleton. I'm gonna vote nay. Motion carries. Okay, now back to the approval of the minutes.
Yep.
Okay, I need a motion. We got a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Any discussion about that? I mean, any more discussion?
All right.
Okay. All approved?
And so what I'll do
Any
is,
nays? Motion carries, sorry.
what I'll do is I'll send a letter to the company telling them of the change of the minutes. Just as good and correct.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President, I don't have a problem with your concerns, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem, because those are your concerns. I just made a motion to get them in. If anybody else on this board wanna make a motion to do something totally different, they got a right to do that, but I just didn't make that motion. That's all I was saying. So if anybody wanna make a motion saying that they was in default they was whatever, they was in breach of, well, in notice of default, they can make the motion right now. I mean, it may pass and you won't have to change nothing. That's all I'm saying. I just didn't make that motion.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Slover, the letter stated the findings that we have issues with, the late pickups, the equipment problems, picking up in satellite trucks where they shouldn't be, using men to get inside dumpsters, right?
That's right, listed out the issues that were.
Which are issues
Basically, our product.
That need to be spoken about and have them come. So I think the letter still addresses that.
Yeah, it's just kind of simply addressing your concern that that was not put in the.
I just don't wanna go backwards. It seemed like a pretty popular thing among the residents, because there are a lot of residents that are fed up, so I don't wanna go backwards. So if this is a backwards move, we need to make another motion to approve the letter as is.
No, it's not a motion. Excuse me, Mr. President, it's not a motion going backwards. The letter is approved, the concerns is being addressed, the same concern is gonna be addressed. I think the only thing he said that he wanted to call them in and address, all the concerns that's on the letter is gonna be addressed. The concern is not gonna change. The only thing I think he's saying right now is like anything else. If somebody got a contract and it's not right, you got to call them into the board and give them an opportunity to see if they're gonna fix it. But I think Mr. Gray said that he made his letter saying they want to put them in default right now without giving them an opportunity. Am I right, Mr. Gray?
That wasn't my motion.
No, I'm saying, am I right? That's what you was trying to correct. You didn't make a motion to put them in default, you made a motion to call them in.
I made my
That's all.
motion perfectly clear. And the only thing I'm saying, I'm gonna say it again. My motion was to contact them and send them a letter to let them know that the board had concern. That was my motion. That's all I said. The minutes stated something totally different from what my motion, from the motion I made. That's all I'm saying. Ain't no big deal about it.
No, I understand.
But what I'm saying is, they're on the clock. When the letter gets there, they're on the clock to come in here, talk to us, and then start fixing these problems. And if we change it, I mean,
What we gonna change?
or if it changes anything, I'm asking the attorney this, is it going to change anything? Or do we need to see if we can get another motion passed to say that the letter stands
They
as
still have
is?
to list out the concerns and have to address those concerns. So
But they're on the clock as far as they've been notified.
they've been notified, right?
Is everybody
Okay.
content? Okay, need a motion to approve the monthly financial reports. I'm sorry,
The docket.
yeah, the
We
docket.
gotta do that. So
Moved by Mr. Gaines,
Second.
second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Nays? And the motion approved. I need approval for the financial reports for the Adams County Sheriff's Office, the Chancery Clerk, and the Purchasing Clerk.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Middleton, second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion approved. All right, special presentations, if any, Parker Claire Maxwell. Not here. All right,
Mr. President, is that the young lady?
She was supposed to come today, she must have had a conflict, but I'll reach back out to her.
Alright.
Ms. Arnold, Madison said.
Yeah, the NAACP had something, but I didn't know whether I do it, when do I do it, y'all tell me.
Is this a special presentation?
Well, it can be.
What is it about?
There was some issues brought to the NAACP that concerned the environment.
If she has to present, she gotta go before the microphone.
Yeah.
well, if that's part of that other deal, maybe y'all need to do it all together, so we're gonna skip that. Ms. Haygood, can you go ahead and do what you're gonna do so you can get, these folks beside you, on there too?
I guess I'll go to the podium, right?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
What is this?
I think this has do with tax rendition. I was gonna call them up when
Yeah.
you were up there, but, hey, good, but you can, do you have something as well?
I have what she gave
Okay.
me on her report, and good morning, how are y'all doing?
Come on, how you doing?
Good, I'm representing Natchez Auto Ventures, and their filings on their taxes, from 23, which is based on 22 inventory. It was wrong. Our CPA, who started with Brett, who was the owner, Louisiana Auto Ventures. In Louisiana, you pay tax on the car inventory, in Mississippi, you don't. We submitted it inadvertently for our Mississippi, not Louisiana. I'm just trying to separate. I'm going somewhere with this. Our CPA filed it wrong. Our tax should have been, it's $260,000 off. And I'm asking the board, there's two things you gotta do, and my granddaddy said is you gotta die and pay taxes. I don't mind paying taxes on the correct amount, but it was inadvertently sent. We use a CPA from Louisiana who doesn't know, I guess. Anyway, we missed the date to contest, but I'm asking for y'all's, I don't wanna say mercy, but y'all to concede or re-amend our tax and let us pay the correct amount, and not this exorbitant amount that's way, way, way more than it should have been. And that's about it in a nutshell, so.
Okay, and you paid how much?
Well, we're assessed, one store was $689, one store was $718, that's 100,000. And the other store was $454. It should have been $138, but and this is Natchez Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Natchez Nissan, Natchez Chevrolet, and Natchez Toyota. So Peggy has all the numbers. I don't know if she wants to hand them out, and you can take a look. And I understand that we missed the date, but it was, we depend on accountants to do this stuff. And, it's a lot of money. We are good business, community-minded people. We do pay our fair share of tax. I just don't want to pay over our fair share.
So the total amount was
Well,
1 point.
the number that I got from Peggy would be overpayment would be like almost $300,000. And, so I'm just asking, that's like a hemorrhage.
I'm gonna say this, Mr. Jackson, and I'm gonna move to, Mr. Gray has something to say that, one of the reasons we do the taxes the way we do is so we can set up our budget and know what we're gonna have to work with.
Sure.
And when people come in here, when it's like $200 or $300 on a house, that's one thing. But when you're talking about $300,000 taken out of the county's coffers, it's gonna be a huge hit for the county, and we're gonna have to talk about it a little bit, Mr. Gray.
Mr. President, to the attorney, I heard what Mr. Jackson said, and he said he missed the deadline. So legally, what could be done legally?
So just as a recap, your taxes, right now, your tax roll should be approved as of this meeting. Peggy should have that, or,
This is for 23.
I understand that, but for Larry, should have his roll, tax roll ready. He files it, and then in the first meeting in August, we then approve the tax roll. Your appeal is a matter of right for that. If you miss that appeal deadline, you no longer have the right to challenge your taxes, but you can ask the court or the Board of Supervisors to reduce your taxes for a certain number of reasons. One of those is you are doubly taxed on a piece of property or overly taxed on a piece of property. The inventory for cars, Peggy, correct me if I'm wrong, you do not rendition vehicles.
Right.
And that's what I believe the CPA did, is they rendered vehicles, and so it ended up giving them a greater tax value than what they should. That is within the discretion of the board. If the tax assessor requests, the board can then address those taxes up until this August. After the first meeting of August, the board loses its discretion to address the taxes. You get 1 year of discretionary adjustments, and the board often, as Kevin brought up, addresses taxes and moves them up or down. Do you know, I asked you, do you know how much of county taxes this would end up costing us?
No, I did not break that out, but I can.
So that would have some sort of idea how it affects our own budget.
Is this something you need to do later?
No, sir, I've got,
Or you gonna do something you can do?
no, these were, I brought these to Adams County Board in April. These are the board orders,
Okay.
so that's all I have.
And
And then,
Kenny, did you ask this, did you find this out sooner than April? Was this something that the board asked
This
about?
was, yeah, this, Andrea, when did we presented it in April, I think.
I think we originally addressed it in February.
Okay.
One of the meetings.
So we brought it to the
y'all-
meeting in April, I believe, is when Ms.
Right.
Casey brought it.
Y'all were on a meeting before, and I don't think anybody showed up.
I don't remember that, I'm supposed to be here. I made that,
that was 2 years ago she showed up. It was
No.
over,
No, this was recently.
Peggy presented.
For them, on behalf of them.
yeah, I wasn't. I'm supposed to.
yeah, the board order.
So it is legal to adjust it up until next first Monday meeting.
So how big a hit does the county take?
You want me to
Some of this
stay
is
on?
school money or city money? What are we talking?
I had to break all of it down completely.
What is it, Natchez Toyota, is that there?
Cause you go to the mic.
Or is this something you need to figure out and let us know later or in the next meeting?
No, I'm gonna be too late then.
No, we meet on July the 14th,
I thought you said it was the last.
August the 1st.
I don't think he has authority to break into this. That's why he can't go to it.
But that's the amount.
Right.
That'd be mad, guys.
Might be the worst thing in the history of the world.
Next one. This next pen? I was written mine wrong.
Let them give them a minute. I just, do we have any city government business? Do we have any city government business?
Thank you.
Any county business? Ms. Bell, would you like to do your departmental report?
Appreciate it.
They're working on that.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
NFL to Adams County E911. I want to give a list of calls for the whole month of June. NPD had 1,192. Lancaster Fire Department had 31 with 15 in the county. Adams SO had 455. I didn't have the report for this. Also, I want to ask permission for to do a budget amendment for two of my people where we are hosting a 40-hour class here on July the 15th through the 19th. And I did give Stephanie on that, so I just asked for approval.
Stephanie, is it?
Yes, we do meetings, and I never travel.
Okay, and we need a motion. I need a motion to approve the budget amendment. Moved by Mr. Gaines,
I second.
second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion?
Yes, you're moving it from travel to,
They
where
have,
you moving it from?
they have travel and professional supplies, they're moving from, I think, 641 building and repairs, but I haven't even fixed the page after the meeting.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Joe, what you got for us?
Good morning, Joe Rowland with the Intervention Court, presented to Stephanie last week, requesting to move some funds to 134 is the fund number we originally set up for our peer support specialists that we never hired. It was $20,000 that was set aside for that, and the grant folks, MSPHI, Mississippi Public Health Institute, they approved the $20,000 to move to be used for treatment, office supplies, and professional supplies. Basically, just swapping the money to another one.
All right, we need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hutchins,
Second.
second by Mr. Middleton. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
That's it, thank you.
Yes, sir. Did y'all get that worked out? Peggy disappeared. Okay. Come on.
Second line veteran service officer for the county. Got 2 events that's coming up this month. The first one is sponsored by the American Legion. It's a Veterans Expo. It'll be hosted, located at the Convention Center. And it's an invitation to the veterans, their families, and the members of the community. And we will have a table set up, myself and the district rep will have a table set up over there.
What's the date and time?
The date is July the 19th and the 20th, 9 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right.
The next event is a Mississippi Veteran Affairs for Southwest Mississippi Community VSO Summit. And that's all the VSOs in the district, and they're asking the VSOs and the supervisors in the Southwest Mississippi to attend. And that's located at Alcorn State University Agriculture Building.
All right. Date and time on it?
The date is 25th of July, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
All right.
And that's all I have for this meeting. Do y'all have any questions?
Appreciate what you're doing, man.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay. The county's actual money loss would be $127,000.
Stephanie, where are you gonna get that money from? So, Mr. Attorney, our options are do nothing or give them some of their money back or all their money back. Those are 3 options.
Yeah, you can, it's in your discretion to adjust their property taxes. And, I mean, because it's not money that goes through. It's just, it's their CPA's fault, not necessarily the individual's or certainly not the board's fault and not Peggy's fault, but CPA over rendition.
Who fault is it?
The CPA who rendered too much taxes. Should have rendered.
Their CPA?
But it is taxes that they, again, should not have been assessed.
I personally feel that we, probably should do, something, if it's maybe just half of it, something would be better than nothing. But, I'm gonna yield to the rest of the board on their thoughts and, or if somebody wants to make a motion.
Any further discussion on something that you think we need to discuss and whatever y'all want to do.
Mr. President, I
Yes.
think, when you say you wanna do what is right in this situation, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the right thing to do. I mean, I ain't say we did it, but they've been overcharged. And, I don't like being on record knowing that somebody came before this board and, count whatever they count, even though it was after. I'm just gonna say, do you wanna discuss this a little more between us before we make a final decision? I think we just need to discuss it between us a little more before we make a final decision, but I do agree with what you said. They need to get something.
Well, I just feel like we need to get it over with, but
Well, make a
that being said, I think sometimes when you make a decision, it hurts both people almost equally is the fairest way to do it, and it's gonna hurt us, because, we don't have the money because we've already set up everything for the year, but, and it's already hurt them. I think if we can cut that number in half and just, we're gonna have to find the money somewhere. I don't know how much more discussion we need to have with it.
Was the rendition for this coming up a year?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
What was that question?
Whether the rendition for this, because we're about to adjudicate taxes again, and Peggy says it's correct this year moving forward.
This year.
Peggy, do you know that amount?
That's what I'm.
Sir?
Do you know the amount for this year, the total amount?
Not for 24.
So when can we get that
Yeah,
information?
can you get us that?
If the millage is not gonna change, I can do a rough estimate. You know,
That's what I like to know, what's the amount of this year.
I don't know if that's gonna change what we're talking
Well,
about.
I know where you're going. with it.
Well, could we issue them a credit on next year's taxes is where I'm going,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't affect this year's budget.
Right. Can't do that. He's shaking his head over there.
Thank you.
So we gotta handle this.
I would like to know what the amount is this year, so I know what to give them what amount to give them for 2023. That's what I would like to know, where's the amount for this year.
Okay.
Then we can look at what they're paying this year coming up, and then we'll know what to give them for 2023.
Do you have a value on your petition?
for 23, I do, yes.
What's the value?
The total is 262. But the county tax would be losing is 127,000. I have all of it.
That's what you're
You say 262?
That's the assessed value, yes ma'am. The actual money would be also 127,000.
But you said it was over 300,000 in 2023. Right.
We give them half of
That's
that.
okay.
Okay, I need a motion. I would like, what the motion is gonna state is that we're gonna give them half of what, they overpaid back for
Are you making
two
a
thousand twenty-three. Well, I'm just telling you what I want the motion to be. I can make a motion.
Okay.
Is that all right, Scott? Okay, that's the motion. I need a second.
Can you compare the
Second
petition?
by Ms. Hutchins. Any more discussion?
What you say, sir?
Um,
Mr. Attorney?
I asked Peggy if she could prepare the petition.
Okay,
She's got me the Texas or has.
no more discussion? What's the pleasure of the board? Any nays? Motion carries. We're gonna give y'all half the money back that was overpaid to the county.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Good morning,
Yes, ma'am.
Adams County EMA. I just have one request. I would like to ask the board for permission to make Angela Hutchins a member of Nadine. She usually travels with us every year for our quarterly conference, and we would like to officially make her a member. And Nadine is Mississippi Civil Defense Emergency Aid. We would like to take her a member.
That's what you want? I move to make Supervisor Hutchins a member of, what you say?
Nadine.
MacDean.
Okay, I need a second. Second by Mr. Gaines.
Civil Defense Emergency Association.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Good morning, Lee Price, purchaser, Adams County Board of Supervisors.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, in our previous board meeting, we spoke about the two quotes we got for the, painting of the courthouse. We received those quotes, we decided it was over the threshold for the, advertisement. I spoke with Johnny, because I needed to get details when we actually advertise what we expect to be done on it. So when I spoke with Johnny, he informed me that we need to get together and come up with the details. So Johnny told me that, he spoke with the guys and he wrote down what it was, and it seemed like this is gonna be lower than that, so we probably won't have to do the, advertising. So, we're just gonna, do the bids again. Yeah. Okay.
Gonna be bid.
Yeah, gonna rebid it again. And I'll get with you all at the next board meeting with the updates on that.
So, go ahead, that's all right.
No, that's it, you go ahead, man.
So what you saying is, we gonna come up with what we want them to do to the courthouse, instead of them sending in something, what they wanted to do to the courthouse.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
With the details, so everybody will be on the same page, apples to apples, and we'll have the quote. And, we'll go from there, it should be lower than the, threshold that we had for advertising.
It is just pressure washing the whole building and then priming and painting all exterior, right?
We put the
And two
details.
colors. That's why Johnny wants to write up, he and I getting together today, we're gonna write up the total details, we'll do the bids again, so everybody knows what's required. Cause, we had two bids, one had some details and another one had more details, so we have to have everybody on the same page. Okay, and I'll follow up with you all at the next meeting. The second thing I have is, last year when we set up the pest control with Red, we found out that Kingston and Providence was not on the list for quarterly spraying. So we contacted them and they gave us a price for the quarterly spraying, you know, and what I wanted to do was find out if we could add those in until the next, and we did a 2-year contract, which would end September 2025. And if we could add those two buildings in.
How much difference is there between the bids? Did the other people include those in their bids, or did nobody include
They
them?
weren't on the list.
They weren't on the list at
It
all?
was on the list, no, I requested a list, because, we didn't have all of the buildings. And those two were not on the list, we found that out, Corvette informed us. So, either we can add them on, or we can do a new contract. The other option is going to a contract for just those two buildings till September 2025.
What was the add-on cost?
$50 quarterly for each building.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we weren't required to bid out.
Excuse me?
We weren't required to bid out pest control, or we?
No, we were not. I
So it's just something
$10.
we did to try to get good pricing.
Okay.
Okay, we need a motion to add that to the contract. All right, need a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Middleton,
Second.
second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion?
And the motion is to add $50,
Per building quarterly.
so that's $100.
Quarterly.
Quarterly.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? What's the pleasure of the board? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Kingston and Providence. All right, next. Don't be shy, Tim.
Good morning, Lord.
Morning.
So 364 requests through 911, 236 transports, at 35% non-transport volume. 8 minutes, 57 seconds in the city for 90%. In the county, 1614 at 94. 40 refusals, that was down from last month. 7 no patient contacts, also down from last month. Or no patient found, and then 49 canceled. 12 sites, that was a 50% reduction from last month. We're still looking at roughly 188 calls that are multiple calls occurring at the same time in the county. Flights went up by 2. Most predominant is heat exposure, heat stroke type events that are requiring we get them on a helicopter and get them out of here. We did hire 3 new drivers. They'll start as drivers. We put them through internal training, push them for the EMT basics, so they've started their career. And now we'll start promoting them and advancing them up as they complete the registry. Currently, still have a $15,000 sign-on bonus in place for medics. We are doing better. We've got 3 right now that are going through the application process. Most likely will be hired by the next board meeting. So we continue to march staffing forward, and that's improving the deployment across the county and the city. So, if the board have any questions for me?
I'll keep up the good work, though.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Tim, thank you.
I have one more thing. Also, board, I want to let you all know Robert Bradford, Adams County MA Director, was appointed president for Medina as well. He's the president of the board.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, that's good.
Thank you.
All right. Darryl?
Morning.
Great.
All I have is, want everybody to just kind of be careful because the excessive heat that went on all this week today, I think the high for heat index will be like 108, and that's around 3. And around 6 o'clock, I think up to triple digits, up to 8 o'clock, and then for heat index up to 100. So I need everybody to just be careful. Drink plenty of fluids if you get out in the heat. Try to stay cool as best you can. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Oh.
Good morning.
This.
Yeah. I have one board order that came to me. We've been fussing about it since we got the bill. This past week, the baker's house, the bankers up there on Canal, big white one. You remember 2 guys purchased it a couple of years ago, and then last year they applied for an abatement from the city. Y'all remember that? We went through abatements for I don't know how long, and figured out we didn't have to do it just because the city gave them an abatement. We didn't have to. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond came in. He does not want his abatement this year. He's asking for it to be taken off the road. He doesn't feel like he should be paying the abatement. He paid his house taxes, but the abatement tax was different. So he's asking that he not have to pay that $4,198 tax bill from 23's abatement.
Yeah, because the abatement changes the way you value, so
Do what now?
The abatement changes the way you value, so it makes you have more taxes with the abatement than you would if you didn't have an abatement.
But let me say, Mr. Beasley paid his now. That we only had 2 abatements come through. Mr. Beasley paid his, but Mr. Diamond does not want to pay his.
And this was for
The
23,
city,
for the city.
23.
We didn't give it to him.
No, we don't have to give them a abatement.
Okay, so-
Because the city does.
So we make the decision for the city in this case?
Yes. If you get,
Yes,
if you
because-
assess them based off the non-abated process, then you change the amount. The city actually gets some taxes.
Yeah.
We get less. It's because the abatement takes what you put into the property where otherwise they don't really assess by that. They assess by square footage and market.
And the outside, we never see what's on the inside.
Right.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Scott, I understand, with all this abatement and all that, and I understand they got a time limit to come before us. So, in the time that they were supposed to come before us, that's with the abatement too?
Yes. Abatements due what, July 1st of, usually they are on this particular one. July
Oh,
1st.
You understand the question I'm asking?
Yes, sir. Let me look up. If that's one of the grounds that you can change the tax. I guess you can because you're saying that it's valued differently.
Well, won't you look it up to be sure?
But now, if we do, we're gonna have to refund Mr. Beasley now.
Well, you say he didn't want his.
Mr. Diamond don't want his, he don't wanna pay his bill. He don't
Well,
wanna
who
pay
don't want their abatement? They in there together.
No, Mr. Beasley has an abatement and, Mr. Diamond has an abatement.
So who don't want the abatement?
Mr. Diamond, the banker's house up there.
So if we refund one, we're gonna have to do both. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just for clarity on this, in case anybody's as confused as I am about it. So every dollar they spend on the house increases the value by that much? Is that what the abatement cost is?
No.
Instead of the square foot, using square foot?
Yes, they're
So if he
actual,
spent 200,000 fixing the house?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he's getting charged on?
right.
With the
And now they
abatement,
wanna change it?
with the abatement
They don't
says,
wanna pay it.
you take the value of the house, cost of the house as it is, then you take the value of the house as how much they put into it, that's another one. And the abatement says you don't pay any city taxes on that difference. But you do pay the difference between the county, since the county didn't agree to the abatement.
Right.
It ends up being a much bigger tax liability than if they just been taxed normal. Because when you have an old house like that, old buildings are fully depreciated as cost. They give them the maximum appreciation.
Right.
So, Mr. President,
Yes.
have the work been done?
Yeah, they certify the work and everything.
So they done upgraded their house,
Right.
and we supposed to go back, so now the house was worth $50,000. Now they done upgraded the house, now it's worth $150,000, and we don't supposed to get what we supposed to get?
We don't tax that. That's not the way that the taxes are assessed.
Well, let me ask you a
They
question.
take the market use and cost. Since it's old, your cost is already fully appreciated.
Let
The
me
abatement requires you to take the cost and add what they put into it.
ask you a question. So when this man, where his name come from?
Dime.
He, or
Mr.
whoever?
Dime.
No.
And the other one?
The other guy that go around
Oh,
looking at people's houses and say, well, they done added on to their house, now their taxes got to go up. So what is the purpose of him going around and looking at everybody's house to see how they done added on where their property value can go up?
There's no add-on with the.
So they just did it on the inside?
They just restored it. And so, on anyone, if you restore your house, you don't change the value, particularly when it's an older house, because the cost basis is already depreciated.
So what is your recommendation, so we can keep on going on? and
That's
on?
legal. I mean, this is discretionary whether the board wants to do it, you know.
Is it in a timely manner?
Yes, sir.
So what y'all gonna do?
Discretionary within the time.
Well, I don't like your second point was that one man has already paid his and the other one decided he wants to opt out after he opted in, which bothers me a little bit. It's some kind of tax loophole to start with,
Mr. Gray,
I would
let me
think.
explain what an abatement is. The mayor offered everybody.
I understand what an abatement is. I don't understand when you said one person want to do this and another person want to opt out. That's the part I didn't understand.
Well, we don't see the inside of the house, so if we would never know what the inside looked like if he hadn't given the city the figures that he put into it. We ride the maps, we look at the houses, we never see the inside, so we would never be able to put more taxes on it because we didn't even know it was there.
So, Mr. President, so what is the purpose of getting an abatement and these people that remodeled the inside of their house? Why would they come to us anyway if we can't charge them no more?
That's, I
We
mean, if
have
they
to
would
put
have
it
come
on
to us
the
on the
road.
front end, the city would have come to us on the front end, that's what we would have told.
Yeah.
That it's not much of a, does it change? You know, they're not penalized for doing it.
This is my take on it, Mr. Gray, is it's kind of like they were betting that this was gonna work out better for them. And then it didn't, so now they want
Well,
to.
change it, man.
That's kind of the way I got this broke down in my head. I've never done that. All the houses I own and I've fixed up, I've never asked for anything like that in this life.
So is this gonna open up a can of worms, man, for every time somebody get an abatement inside the city limits? Now they figure they can weigh their options, and if they figure like, well, this is not working, we can go back and do this, and is that gonna open up a can of worms?
I don't think it will, because unless they continue doing the program, are they still pushing it? Has there been?
No, they're,
Because I think the city now knows it's,
yeah, they don't offer abatement.
What is the amount?
Actual dollar loss, $4,198.34.
Wait, repeat that again?
4,198.34.
So that's all we talking about? 4,000?
Right.
Well, no, that's for one of them.
Yeah, you got,
I heard
Yeah, Mr.
40
Beasley.
something thousand.
No, it's 4,000.
Beasley paid his.
Okay.
But
Let's go.
Did they own the house together?
No,
There's
Mr.
two separate properties.
Right.
Okay, he's gonna come back on his back.
right, that's what you
If
said.
we
would have to pay
lose
them.
one, we're gonna lose both.
Yeah, that's what we're all about, is equalization.
Okay, so what's the other one? What amount did he pay?
It was like 2,800, something like that.
That's what I'm saying, it's not.
So we looking at almost about $7,000 altogether.
I don't see why we wanna let them out of that.
$6,900.
You know, they're not gonna apply for it again next year, I bet, huh?
They can't.
Okay, so why we gonna
Oh.
let
They could, but it'd be crazy too.
them?
Okay, I need a motion to approve or deny the request. Whichever way.
Motion failed for lack of second.
We didn't get a motion.
I'm saying you get a motion, so.
He asked for a motion. Look like he's gonna give one, Mr. President.
Okay, if it was a motion, I was making a motion to deny the request. I need a second.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion approved. Thank you.
One last thing,
With all those papers, you only got one last thing?
and Brandon made me go last so they could leave. Anyway, this is your sample road for 24. However, I don't have the automobiles and the mobile homes because Terrence is still working on getting it fixed. But I do have the road, and we do that. May not got on top.
Okay, thank you.
did you put an estimate for the automobiles?
I didn't do
Anybody else? Mr. Dollar, you coming?
Did you put an estimate for the
Oh,
automobiles?
you getting this forward, okay.
No, I'll just make sure everybody.
Yeah, good one.
Good morning, boy.
Good morning.
The first thing I have is, Scotland Drive, last board meeting, we discussed, that the engineers come up with a design to,
before we can get some quotes on it. He come up with a design, and his price is a lot less than what we need to advertise for, so I would ask the board to give me permission to get 2 quotes on that project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Middle, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion?
And the motion is to do what? Get
2 quotes on the project, you know, I've already got engineers.
what project?
On Scotland Drive, it was either.
Thank you, sir. I didn't want to make it perfectly clear.
Yes, sir.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
Supervisor Gaines, we're still working on this Wisner, easement. Like I said, I've got some information that I had sent to, IMS, I think I sent it to you too. Guy has it, asked Paige to pull and find out what's in the minutes. Paige said she had found something in the minutes with it, it was in executive session at the time, but it wasn't a lot.
Can I bid for Mr. President?
Yes, go ahead.
The project out on Steam Plant Road. If y'all remember, we had a lot of flooding at Steam Plant. Farmers Wind House had flooded, and remember that all the houses flooding and the water was backing up. We found out the water was coming out of Bluegrass subdivision off of Philly West, and we had the engineer looking for an easement. The water was going across the road. All that water comes out of that neighborhood and goes across on the Wilson's property. And they were saying it was an easement over there. And the engineer, we've been out there several times, the attorney's been out there, and she said it's supposed to been, they were supposed to fix it, so we couldn't find no information. But in the last week or so, she dug up and she found out where Adams County Board of Supervisors had signed some legal papers and made, it was supposed to be in the minutes that they would let the water come there, but they'll be responsible for keeping the drainage up on the property. So that's what we dealing with, letting them know. So the attorney's involved now. You got the Paige. She found the minutes in there, and so I just wanted to update the board on that. That was the flooding situation on Steam Plant.
But it didn't say a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
this is back from 2005.
But I don't have the paper that Robert have this copy.
Does this flooding area include like 180 Steam Plant Road, that area?
Yeah.
Because I had a lady call me.
That's 180.
I asked
It is
me at church
180.
yesterday about it, and I wanted to follow up with that.
Is that 180?
I think
That's up.
correct address.
That's up. That's correct.
Paige Wisner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's up. That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what we working on.
Can you, Melissa, what you gonna read?
You want me to read it?
If you don't mind.
So this
Was that in the
was,
book or in the?
this is from the minutes. So this is from June 17th of 2005. After a discussion about the state aid project on Steam Plant Road and the fact that Greg Wisner and his wife were the only 2 persons who had not signed the easement, a motion was made by Supervisor Grinnell, seconded by Supervisor Watts, to authorize Attorney Latham to proceed with eminent domain proceedings. If Mr. and Mrs. Wisner computer is computer just blanked out on me.
Mr. President, while she's looking at that, Mr. Dollar, I understand why Mr. Wynn and, Big Heavy and all those houses and the Wilsons across the street. So what they saying that the water coming, the street is like this and got a little crown like this where the water can stay on that side of the street. So they saying that the water is coming from between Mr. Wynn and whoever house running over in their area.
All the water runs back on that
That's
side
all
of the
them.
road from, Mr. Gaines, around to Mr. Wynn's, that Hicks follows it on around, it's got a cross pipe on that road, matter of fact, there's 2 cross pipes on that road, and it sends all the water to the west.
Now you helping me out. So we talking about the pipe that's going across the street under the water, under the road, carrying the water wherever it's carrying.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, well, she's still looking there.
Found it.
You did, okay.
Okay, so it's basically just saying that, where did I leave off to? Authorize Bob Latham to proceed with eminent domain proceedings against Greg Wisner and Katie Ernest, I guess that's his wife, on Steam Plant Road. So a vote was taken, and then Supervisor Felter and Coleman made a motion to return back to open session.
So, Mr. President, they made a vote to eminent domain. Did they ever do it?
That was the only thing that was in the minutes.
So what else
Nothing
was
else
say,
was ever
Rob?
said about it. It's the only thing I found.
So she's saying they did do it, Robert?
So they were gonna do that, so
She
they
got
could put a new culvert system in, or,
No, it was.
Robert,
Was that the purpose of that?
Got a stamp or something on it?
It's,
All the water goes to the end of the property and would run off. With that, you know, the water run off the east there.
That was
So
from
we
June
gotta
of
have- something
2005.
stop the road.
that's what she had.
Supervisor Felter was gonna talk to him about signing the papers.
And it was signed, she signed
To
it, Mr.
discuss
Wisner signed it,
retained
and the
signatures.
attorney signed it. He has it there.
so they did do this.
Correct, but Mr. Ford said he didn't see anything when they sent the surveyors over to get the plat of the property, description and all, that they didn't see any easement on that property.
There was no documentation
What?
that we found as relates to easement on that side of the property.
Yeah, and then after that, they made a motion to rescind the motion to do or to proceed with eminent domain. That was all, that was all in June. November the 7th of 2005, Supervisor Cawthorn and Campbell authorized Latham to proceed with the eminent domain proceedings against Wisner on Steam Plant Road.
Mr. President, Ms. Page, when you say they made a motion to change all that, did the motion pass?
The motion passed.
It's got to go.
They got a vote, they
Yeah.
got a signature.
Oh, let me finish my question. So we got two supervisors made a motion to eminent domain, and then it passed. Then two more supervisors turned around a little while later and made a motion to change what the other two supervisors did, and that passed. Is that not correct?
Yeah, hold on, I'll read all of it again since my computer's. All right, so this is all from June of 2005. After a discussion about the state aid project on Steam Plant Road and the fact that Greg Wisner and his wife are the only two persons who have not signed the easement, motion was made by Burnell, seconded by Watts, to authorize Attorney Latham to proceed with eminent domain proceedings if Mr. and Mrs. Wisner did not sign the easement. A vote was taken on the motion. Hawthorne was absent, Watts A, Campbell absent, Burnell A, Felter no.
So what was the
The
date?
motion passed.
What
That was
was the
June
date?
17th of '05. Supervisor Felter stated that he would discuss the easement matter with Mr. and Ms. Wisner and obtain their signatures. Upon motion made by Burnell and Watts, the previous motion to authorize Latham to proceed with eminent domain proceedings was rescinded.
When was that made?
That was all June of '05.
The same day?
Same day.
It's in his hand right there.
Then November the 7th of '05. Motion was made by Cawthorn, seconded by Campbell, to authorize Bob Latham to proceed with eminent domain proceedings against Wisner on Steam Plant Road. A vote was taken, motion as follows. I must not copy the motion as follows, because then after that it said return to open session.
Read it right there. It's there for the whole thing right there.
So they reversed it again.
Well, apparently they got documentation showing that they did sign off on.
I understand somebody signed off on something, but what I'm hearing, the motion was made to eminent domain, then the motion was made to take that back, then a motion was made to do eminent domain again. So I'm trying to figure out, did they ever do what they say they were gonna do? They killed.
Supervisor Gaines, these people still there want this project, is there, are they?
Yeah, that's people who've been out there since I've been here.
So all we have to do is just they got the deed, they got the paperwork, just file the deed,
I mean, it's,
you'll be okay. If the board, board decides that they still want that right away, which they do, it was just inadvertently not filed a record, or George would have found it.
Well, I didn't read that, that's all we gotta do.
that's all we gotta do, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Just have a bunch of caution, we just make sure they're good with us delivering it, and the board's okay with us filing it, right?
We've been there, we've been
We're
out
making a
there
motion to file this.
We've been out there several times trying to give them some relief. And the only reason we hadn't gave them any relief.
You gonna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, but well, let me finish what I'm saying. The only reason we didn't give them any relief because the engineer couldn't find them, we couldn't find legal paperwork. Now they got legal paperwork, and you got so many minutes, so we can move on. I make a motion to receive.
The board, what you're doing is allowing us to file this deed in the records, and then I'll talk to her, confirm she's okay with that too, which we know she is, they are.
Yeah.
And then we'll file it, and that'll be that.
So the motion is to,
Basically, to file that deed with the records. By doing that, you're
I just
accepting
wanna
it.
make sure the correct motion from now on.
Yes, sir.
Motion
by Mr. Gaines.
to do what?
To accept that deed and allow us to file the deed after we talk to the other landowners, making sure they're still, which we know they are.
Did you get a second?
Second by Ms. Hutchins. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. Update on Southview Drive, Mr. Slover, I went through Thursday, video there, cut the grass, started cleaning up on Southview, I don't know if you made it, Mr.
Well, who started cleaning up?
Landowner, cut the grass, cleaning this lot up.
Wait, Mr. President. Who property is he cleaning up? Because I know he ain't cleaning up the state of Mississippi property.
He cleaned it all right.
Wait. Mr. Attorney, could you help me with this? Because that's not his property. Now,
The tax deeds, the property was sold and struck to the state, and so the state is the record title holder. If he's an heir, like he claims, he has an interest in the property, but he'd have to file to set aside the tax deed. A lot of tax deeds get set aside. You still have an interest until there's a confirmation.
So the last board meeting, you told us.
Secretary of State's giving us permission to go clean the property.
That's what I thought you said. So now, this guy saying it's his property and he's
I have not
cleaning it?
spoke with him, you spoke with him, did you? I went by there just to see, and he had been cleaning it up, and I talked to Scott about it, he said, I talked to him, and he said he was gonna clean it up, so I videoed it, cutting grass, cleaning, picking it up.
It's just junk that he's got spread on the state of Mississippi stuff.
Help me out. Cause I'm getting confused. This is on legal record saying this property belongs to the state of Mississippi. Is that not correct?
By tax, yes, sir.
So, how can he go on there and clean up the state of Mississippi property?
Well, it's up to the state of Mississippi to object, and that's supposedly personal property that he left out there. He's like trying to do, whatever he's trying to do is
So,
scrap it or whatever.
Mr. Dollar, you satisfied with what's going on out there? Cause he got stuff way back there.
No, I'm not satisfied.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, I just updated for that he is trying, and he is cutting grass, but I am not satisfied.
Okay.
If the board wants to, we could proceed with cleaning it ourselves.
I want to proceed with cleaning.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, it's still cutting grass. He's doing that.
Before we do this, now then you say the state of Mississippi told us that we could go clean the property, send them the bill, and they gonna
They will not reimburse us. They said we can clean it up, but they don't have any money to reimburse us. And
the
that's,
state of Mississippi.
that's what they said.
So, whoa, cause this don't even sound right. So, we charge our citizens, when they don't clean their property up, put a fee on them but the state of Mississippi can't clean theirs up and get away scot-free?
Pretty much.
That don't sound right.
I thought I might be wrong, but I thought if we cleaned it up, and the cost of cleaning it up was more than what the tax.
And we get the
Where we
property.
get the
We
property.
cut it.
That's what I thought.
When I was over there, we didn't get no money.
We are gonna ask after we clean it that they get us the property.
Well, let's clean it up, man, cause this gonna keep going. He cleaned a portion of it up last time, then brought all that stuff back over there. Now all of a sudden we going through this again, and you got clarification from the state of Mississippi that giving us permission to clean it up, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's
And when
what
we're done, we're gonna ask the state to give us.
My next request from the board, Mr. Gray, would be somebody give me a map of what we need to clean up, since it is air property, state property, and the guy says he owns it all.
Okay.
And we know better, but I do need something that's showing us what we're gonna do, where we at, and what we're cleaning up. Okay? Right, Supervisor, Gaines?
Mr. Dollar, before you move on, do you think that you need the sheriff department to go down there and while you cleaning this up? Cause, it sounds like, it seems like that this individual is not in his right mind.
Well, and that's what I say, he's got some little campers and people living in it.
Yeah, a whole lot of them.
I'm saying, and they're living in it, so yeah, that's gonna have to take place. I've already talked to one of the guys in the camper, and, he said he would move his if he was on state property, he didn't want any trouble, he didn't want to move on. So, that's all I need to know to state.
Scott, what the address?
21 Southwest.
Southview Drive.
Southview.
Okay, Supervisor Gaines. Ken Rack. Got the fence up and cleaned it up. Got the fence up, he took his fence down and made some, was getting some stuff out, he had to put some fence up, he's added to his fence, and he is cleaning it up all in all.
Okay.
And I told him I would check once a week.
I rode by there Saturday.
Huh?
I rode by there Saturday, the fence is up.
He was working Saturday, wasn't he? Did you see?
Right there, you go like, somebody kicked the ant bed, there were people everywhere.
That's what I'm doing, they cleaned it up.
So that probably belongs to him, though, right?
Yes, that's his, that's the property called fire. I'll bring it down. Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Gray, the land's down, the paperwork that you spoke with her. Okay.
I'm working with Miss Stacy Oliver, she's supposed to be sending me something, she haven't sent it yet.
Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Gaines.
Scott, Mr. Turner, while he's talking about those property, 339 Southmore Drive in Broadmoor, we still, remember it's a abandoned house. I got a couple calls. I had 2 residents wanting to clean it up, and, so, I got another call this week, and they said it's overgrown, real bad over there, and they can't find out, so I don't know if I need to adjudicate. Do you remember me bringing it at 339? At first, we had 239, Robert, you remember? You know exactly where they're across from Miss Fulton house, Robert Fulton, house right there, growing up, the trees broke in the yard, so she called me again.
Where she live at?
Right across my parents, Southmore Drive.
Where the Carters live on this side?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to remove the, what do you want the county to do? Do you want to remove?
Did you find out who exactly was belongs to? Did we locate anybody? Because you do have 2 residents that's willing to go in and clean it up. They'll do it for the neighborhood. We just need to get permission. If we can't find it out, I told her I'll get back with her.
What the address?
339. Southmore.
Southmore.
Yeah.
339.
That's
Yeah, they're in at 339.
That's what
No,
he said.
329, ain't it?
329. Dominique Granson.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got.
He couldn't find out. That's who we was trying to notify for them to keep it, for them to clean it up, to get permission to keep the county from having to do it a minute's property, and the county charging them the residents needed to find out from who owns it and we can make contact. So I guess we need to proceed with, making the managed property so you can contact who they are. So if we can get them contacted, we wouldn't have to charge them to clean it up because the residents in the neighborhood is willing to go clean it up. We just need to be legal about doing it. They don't want to trespass. So if the county's gonna charge them to clean up, we need to find out and go ahead and move steps, getting them a notification and then allow them to clean it up.
And I need to know the cleanup, the law just changed, is why I'm asking. We know exactly what we're doing.
Cutting grass, and I'm not sure, I went by there, one of the neighbors already, I think they cut part of, had a tree field, they kind of cut part of it up because it was leaning on them. They already kind of just donated and cleaning that part up. So it's basically cutting grass and removing a few limbs, fallen limbs.
Okay.
What are you gonna put it out first?
Cutting grass and removing limbs.
Does he need a motion for that?
Yes. Yeah, you wanna go proceed, we're gonna have a notice set it for hearing.
Yeah, so
A bunch of them,
So I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Gaines, second by Mr. Middleton. Any more discussion?
This is an order setting this down for a hearing.
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried. All right, Rob.
Next thing I have is, 727 Old Highway 84, number 3. I put the paperwork up there, it's, illegal dump site, I'd like the board to give me permission to clean that site up.
What's that?
What's the address?
It's, 727, the picture kid.
Oh, you got I don't see a picture.
So moved.
Yes.
727 what?
Old Highway 84, number 3.
Second.
Okay. Motion by
Yeah, second by me.
Middleton, second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
President Wilson, you have a tire grant, 2,640,
Yes.
that's right, and then you got, 2 different illegal dump site grants, one for $211.80, one for $11,695.11.
I do have all three. I need a motion.
So moved.
They're signing. Motion by Mr. Middleton, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried.
I have a budget amendment, Stephanie, you have it too, but I need to move the money from 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts. The gravel and shale would be 160, 300, 541, which would be repairs, maintenance and equipment, 160, 300, 556, engineers fees, 160, 300, 632, asphalt, 160, 300, 915 vehicles, and wanna move, I think it's $35,000 to gravel and shale, which is 160, 300, 631.
Okay, need a motion
So,
for all the above.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Hutchins, second by Mr. Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah, I got some discussion, is all that's in the budget?
yeah, we moved it from one.
Is
Yeah, we move it out.
is it any more in the budget?
Well, I'm fixing to take another one. Yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
I have another one, from 160, 300, 913, from bridges to 160, 300, 681 to tire and tubes, $10,000. We'll move out of bridges to tire and tubes.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries.
Next thing I do have, I do have money in my budget And we need a new pickup in the county.
I need one too.
I know. That's why some money into my budget,
Oh, there is money in your budget.
yes.
And it's a new truck,
I'll pick it up.
just like state contract or?
Yeah, it's gonna be state contract, yes, sir. I mean, I go through it, I just want to ask for permission before I do it, even though the money's there, I just like to come before the board.
Are you getting rid of?
I've got one of the motors now, put the motor down on my feet to replace it in the crew.
So low.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Hutchins, second by Mr. Gaines. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And Mr. Slover, that field ticket, are we good, or I need to discuss that? Sir?
No.
We're good, okay. That's all I have. Y'all have anything?
Robert, while you're there,
You
need,
go ahead and tell them your policy change there.
Okay, I had an incident last week, which has happened a couple of times now, and it's becoming a problem. So, I reached out to Scott, I had a guy that's been in the county a while, he's not a new employee. You know, we get fuel man cards, and each card stays with each truck, and each employee's got their own PIN number. Well, he pulled up to a gas station, did take fuel man, he filled up the truck, $72 or whatever it was, and some change. He called me and said that doesn't take fuel man. I said, okay, well, we get a ticket. I said, you can't get a ticket, we gotta pay the bill, and I have to go before the board and try to get reimbursed. But naturally, who went and paid the bill? It was me. So I have to go pay the bill for them to get reimbursed. So Scott's got the ticket, and got a statement wrote from the employee that, you know, what he did, and, you know, how, you know, what happened.
We
But I
need
talked to Scott, I
to
said,
get a court order for that.
yes, and I said, I wanna change the policy, I wanna put it back on the employees to hold them responsible. If you pull up to a station and it's not fuel, man, don't get fuel, but if you do, you're responsible for the bill. I mean, it's simple, all you gotta do is walk in there and say, do y'all take fuel, man? I mean, and to me, the station probably shouldn't cut the pump on, but it was a county truck and they did.
Have a card when you use it.
Let me
But they
say
don't
this.
accept fuel, man.
Mr. President, let me say this. How many times have this happened?
Three. It's I know it's happened three in the last.
Well, I'm just gonna speak on my behalf, cause I got a county vehicle, and sometime I go out of town, and sometime that gas tank get to the point where I gotta have gas right then and there. I don't do it on purpose, but when I go to try to stick that field man card in there, they don't accept at that place right there. So what I supposed to do, run out of gas, or go on put some gas in there till I can get to wherever I gotta go to get some gas.
Question, like you said, I do you, who pays that bill when you do that though?
I paid it.
Thank you, that's what I'm
It
saying.
came out of my
If
pocket.
that employee don't pay it, they call me, want me to come
But
pay
let
it.
me finish. So, Mr. Attorney, you trying to tell me when I do that, the only thing I got to do is keep my receipt and let y'all do whatever y'all got to do, and I can get my money back?
And you are still personally liable for violating purchasing laws. The
Well,
court can
I mean,
reimburse it.
I understand the law, but sometimes you get caught in a situation where you in the middle of nowhere and that gas tank can't get you to point A to point B. You gotta put some gas in there. I ain't saying fill it up. I'm gonna put some gas in there where I can get to the gas station that do take the fuel man card, where I can fill it up with the fuel man card. I don't know if we need to be putting all these laws in place.
well, the difference is that he's talking about these guys are in the county. They're not in Jackson or Hattiesburg, they're right here in the county.
Mr. President, well, if he got a problem with somebody abusing his system, write him up.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I figured.
So it's gonna make it a violation.
It's gonna make them hold
So he will get they will get rid of it.
He's in violation anyway.
Mr. President, can I say something?
Yes, sir, go ahead, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
President, can I say something? So listen. So, now, I think along these lines, you got employees that do make mistakes. We got employees that is well underpaid all over the county. We got employees gonna put gas and be responsible for putting gas in a county vehicle that he's gonna take back and the rest of the employees is gonna, use county vehicle and drive the gas out, so you gonna make a county person responsible that's already on the page, you gonna take the money from him out of his check that he make a mistake to put back?
Come out of mine, I didn't make a mistake, I had to go pay it because the gas station said the truck wasn't leaving till the tab was paid.
I understand, but are you gonna get your money back?
Yeah, but I'm waiting 2, 3, 4 weeks to get mine back, why I gotta wait like that to wait?
Well, but if something happens, what I'm saying is this, we do not need to put that much pressure. And don't get me wrong, it's clearly right, they need to check fuel mass. But just like you getting your money back, that same employee, if he has the money, what if he didn't have the money? Well, we gonna get purchasing, or we gonna get somebody to
I might not have had it,
but I don't wanna put that release on.
But I made it today.
Okay, look, they're driving a free truck, okay? All they gotta do is check the oil and make sure it's got gas in it. Is that so hard?
No, it's really gas in it.
I mean, no, you make sure it's got gas in it. You don't ride around till it gets empty and then pull over some public station that got to pay for
The
it.
bad part, he run out the road in the middle of the turn on Sneak Plant Road, the employee had to put gas in the can to get him out of the road and get him to the gas
What
station.
he's saying is it's huge inconvenience, and they gotta be more responsible with a truck. They're looking at it all the time. It's their truck. Nobody else drives it. So
Is that the one that the gas hand work on it and don't work?
I don't think it works.
That's the one that the gas, so you got one with the gas hand don't work on it. So that means.
I've been there too, because when you board, it breaks, you just, you know how many miles you got on your car, okay? It's been 200 miles since I filled it
You
up.
want an underpaid?
No, I'm not just saying,
Keep
look,
up with the mileage?
it is very inconvenient. Look, if you got a free truck, you ought to be grateful you got a free truck and free gas, and free insurance.
But
$1,000 a month.
But I understand what you're saying, but you got, excuse me, Mr. Dawes.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna move on. Let me move on. So is this a truck that one employee drives, several employees drive?
One, it's a call-out truck.
It's a call-out truck.
Correct.
So it's a call-out man that ran
Well,
out.
I mean, he drives it all the time unless he's in a piece of equipment, somebody might jump in it, and that's what happened. It was sitting on the yard, the guy got in.
And somebody else ran it out. Okay.
He didn't. But anyway.
But let's
So I guess my question is. Okay, we'll move on. Thank y'all.
Okay, before you step off there, Woodland Hills, can you send the patch truck out there? I think it's on Molly Lee. It's where the problems are. Some of the asphalt's roading off and it's got a couple potholes. Just check both streets while you're there at all three of them. And, Traceway Estates, down at the end, that culvert that's washed out underneath the, circle, Don and Cindy Mitchell. The very end down there, it said that culvert, that doesn't have a bottom, it goes underneath the road, not the driveway. Yeah.
I look at it, boy, it's pretty.
Goes over to Mr. Easterling's,
Yeah, from his side to the other.
they say they cleaned all that out, and there's no bottom.
Okay, we'll look at it, it ain't got long, but I think we'll drive.
So it's gone.
Okay.
Not driveway culvert, cross. Wait, just,
we'll look at it.
They said something about it, let's take a look at it. Anybody else got anything from Mr. Dollar? All right, thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Mr. Ford.
Good morning, board. I'm just gonna give one update and then quick. Just remember the next board meeting, we will be having the bid openings, for the striping project, for Kingston Road, Lowellville Road, and Almond Road. And, the state representative will be here if you guys have any questions, for him related to any state aid, items. Be mindful also of the estimates for the state aid projects that provided earlier. Whenever you guys decide on what projects y'all like to have, designed and construction, let us know, we'll start the process of getting those, on the books. And the last thing I have is we received a letter from NRCS regarding EWP project for 49 Kingston Road and Quitman Road. And now we need the preliminary documentation for those projects to be approved. So I'm requesting authorization of the board's president's signature on the SL 424 document. That's just a general application for the anti-lobbying document, and as well as the NRCS assurance document, just assuring that you're gonna follow the guidelines set forth by NRCS and federal regulations when it comes to EWP projects.
Okay.
I filled it out based on previous information I had and had ready for the board president to sign.
All right, I need a motion for what he just described.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gaines, second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I just want a quick answer. So on these EWP projects, they are required to get a match, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I had a discussion with Mr. Patterson, who's with NRCS. He's our representative for our area, and he provided a PowerPoint presentation that outlines that information. I can submit that to all board members. If you'd like to. I will submit that information.
Talking about the match for EWP.
There is a match.
I just asked the question, when we apply for EWP, do we require a match? And he just answered it.
Could you describe the two
Send all
projects?
of some documentation saying
So
it
she'll have it.
requires a match.
What were the project
He
names?
seen it, so but there wasn't
Name
information on
49 Kingston
That's
Road,
me.
equipment road number 15.
No, so we just. Go ahead,
All
go
right, any
ahead.
more
sir.
discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried.
And again, I will send that PowerPoint presentation that came from Mr. Patterson to everybody, so you all get to see it. Are any questions from you all besides that?
Okay, we got money in state aid that we need to spend. So some of the
Yes, I
projects,
recommend that you spend the state aid.
and you've already, y'all have talked about what we need to probably take care
That was
of.
recommendations from Chris Dixon, plus we've discussed, or he's got some, and
Well,
things we need to talk to the board, you know, about what's there.
Chris talked to us about it.
Chris,
Chris, whoever don't live here, so
Yeah.
he got a lot of stuff need to be recommended. Mr. President,
Yes.
I don't even know if I want to ask it. I actually have a meeting.
All right,
Anything else, Mr. Ford?
that's all I have.
Anybody got anything for Mr. Ford? Thank you.
I appreciate your time, you all's time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We just came to give you guys an update on our findings for the month of June. Total deposit was $14,679. And we have open invoices for like $2,500.
And that was just the month of June?
Just for the month of June.
Very good.
So, Mr. President, can I ask a
Yes.
question? So, how is the pool going? I mean, for as people attending the pool?
It's been pretty good.
It's
It's packed. That's all I can say. On Saturday, we clocked like almost 300 and some people coming in.
Throughout the day.
Throughout the day.
And then in the mornings, we're pretty big, cause
Oh,
we have swim lessons. This week just passed, we actually had the senior citizens who came over and did I think it was from 10:30, it was 10:30 to 11:30. They came over and did an hour, they had some kids with them. We
Chef
also had
cadets.
the chef cadets, they come on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9. Cathedral swim team comes, 9 to 10, Tuesdays through Fridays.
I just asked that question because somebody asked me a question, like, the amount is too much for the kids, and I said, well, ma'am, from my knowledge, that pool be packed.
We have some parents that have gotten memberships for their children because they come regularly.
So could you explain, could you explain the membership? If you got 4 kids, what happened?
You put them on a membership together, it's up to 5 people, including yourself, it's $60 a month.
Okay.
From the date you register, so if you do it today, it goes until August the 1st.
So we do have a plan for somebody that have multiple kids where we
We have
charge them. Thank you.
We have people with daycares, they come and they bring their children and they get on memberships, like we have a lady that has 2 memberships because she has up to like 13 kids and she brings them like every day. And
Thank you. Y'all doing a great job. Thank you.
And there's really ones who are
That's what I'm just gonna ask.
Oh, yeah, we're maxed out with some of this.
Yeah, we're maxed out with some of
For the
this.
whole year.
So the pool doing real good.
Super.
Okay, thank you.
Their time is out. In the sun.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay, thank y'all for the report.
All right.
Keep up the good work. Sheriff, what we end up doing about security out there?
That's what I was just asking them about, and they said they was trying to make sure that they got it straight as far as pay go, as who's gonna pay what, but I just told her go over there and meet them now, or else I can meet with them after this meeting, make sure it's taken care of. So we've been doing walkthroughs until it's situated on how they gonna be paid for.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Gray.
President, I was listening to the last Board of Alderman meeting. They did bring it up at the Board of Alderman meeting and it passed.
Okay.
It passed.
What did
The same day that they say they work, I got somebody texted the mayor and he brought it up and it passed for them to pay half.
That's fine, then, we just need to know, so we'll know, because, you know, that's an unbudgeted item for me, and I don't want people to be saying I'm going over budget. So I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being dead serious about this, you know. We don't mind working, but we need to know exactly where the pay gonna come from for those guys, that these gonna be they, you know.
We got it straight.
Okay, and I did see an email, I think from Chucky that said something about that it will be paid in a separate check through budget and something like that. So as long as y'all got it worked out, that ain't no problem. I just let them know they got the green light instead of just walk through to go ahead and get on the rotation over there. Did that include police officers too?
Yeah, I think the only way they were gonna make a motion if y'all need to work together and figure out who
Yeah,
gonna
ain't
do
no
what.
problem. Ain't no problem. We can get that taken care of. That's just a phone call dating. So that's good to know then. How y'all doing this morning? Look, I've been out with Oklahoma International Sheriff's Association, and I know Supervisor, President Wilson, you've been to IA, International Police Chief Conference. But I'm gonna tell y'all never been to the sheriff conference, y'all need to come to one just to see the other side of things where y'all don't just hear from me. It is a whole nother world, and I'm sure you can attest to it from when you went out there to what you seen out there when you went.
They got some neat stuff out there.
You say we need to go?
Yes, I want at least one supervisor.
He already the president and he keep going there, he might wanna be the sheriff.
Don't do nothing.
No, I didn't go. I didn't go with Board of Supervisors. I just go.
But I do think it's worked out. I do think it's worth going, because there's some people, there's some people in the state who they supervise go to every sheriff conference just to stay up to date on laws and what other people are doing nationwide. And it is very eye-opening when you go out there and you see some of the things that happen. This sheriff conference here, I happened to run into a guy who actually built Core Civic out there, which was great. Because now we got him coming here August the 9th, and he's gonna go out there and look at those pods that Core Civic say they would give us, and see can they be repurposed and utilized with whatever facility that may be coming here in the near future. So I think, and he said it would be a huge savings. I told Attorney Slover that I called him because I was pretty excited about the fact that that could be done. It couldn't be used to build a whole jail, but it could be used for a nice portion of it. And that's one thing y'all asked us to do, is to try to figure out how to save money by going at this thing like we're doing. So I did want y'all to know that. You got a question for me? Okay, all right.
Just let us know when the next conference is, so we're gonna nominate Supervisor Gray.
I do. Look, I definitely want supervisors to go. Y'all need to see this. I'm telling you, you need to see a different side of things. I do have a new hire. I'm sure President Wilson has it up there, Sheriff Porter. That's deputy, 1681.
Anything?
34,960.
I don't have anything on new hires.
All right, well, maybe I have the original then, I don't know.
We cleaned my folder out already.
I ain't gonna clock it back up, but let me eat this real. It's signed by each other.
Okay, now, you would do me the favor of pronouncing this. Would you
You
not?
trying to be funny, let's just call it Q Porter. Cumera Porter.
Curera
Cumera Porter.
Pointer.
I'm sorry, Pointer.
Deputy Sheriff, $16.81 an hour, $34,964.80 annually. I need a motion.
It's these retirements.
So moved.
So, Mr.
Yeah,
Moved by Mr. Gray, second, I'm sorry, Mr. Gaines, seconded by me. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries.
One thing I would ask y'all to do is, I know y'all gonna paint the courthouse and all that, and that's great. We do want our community to look beautiful. But when y'all hear what the city about, I know there's something with the tree and all that, but that tree is killing that power line. Now, it's putting so much pressure on it, yes, that limb is putting so much pressure on it. When that limb finally breaks, it's gonna black out the entire downtown area.
Some of the historical tree.
I know that historical tree, but if you look at it, all the poles are bending right now because of that tree. And it's just a matter of time. I know it's historical, but everybody gonna be out of power. Everybody gonna be
Shia, what you trying to say, that tree is really endangering people's lives, so we can cut that historical tree, since it's in danger of people's lives.
Yes, I'm not talking about the whole tree, I'm just talking about the limb that is, this guy. This guy,
Scott, we need a, get,
Energy is probably
Yeah,
bad.
I'm telling y'all,
they'll butcher it.
Well,
Yeah.
Mr.
Make
President,
it look bad.
don't you need to talk to the city?
you need to talk to the city.
You need to talk to the city, cause it's inside the city, and get their permission to cut their historical tree.
But it's on our grounds, isn't it?
It's on our ground.
Aren't you in charge of the courthouse?
Yeah.
Security. You trying to get me?
Oh, you
That
talking
seems
about
like a
the tree on the
security-
county property,
seems like a
hanging over
security
there?
officer.
That tree,
Okay, Scott,
that tree.
That's a security issue.
cut it.
All I'm saying is that thing has so much pressure on every pole that surrounds that block. When it snap, everybody gonna be out of power for days. I'm telling you.
I'd rather beg for permission than later, after the fact.
Call energy.
If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. Do we need to do anything on that, God? I mean, just call energy or?
Refer to Johnny, tell Johnny.
Energy. And just tell them don't make it look bad.
Do it at night, nobody will know. Even better.
Put it right.
Alright, I do want you all to know that the National Institute of Corrections is coming down. I know Ms. Hudson, Germany had this blowing y'all up by emails, and that's great, because we do want some of you all to participate. The Pike County is coming over to actually sit in all 3 days of that training, because as you know, they are about to embark on this facility over there in Pike County that they've already signed off on. But they're still coming to be a part of the learning process here in Adams County, July the 9th through the 11th. I do want to take a minute to congratulate all the elected officials in the city for their re-election. I don't know if there's any new people taking office, if I'm not mistaken, but whoever got elected, just want to say congratulations to them as well. And I don't know who is directly responsible for that 24-point-something million grant that's coming to the city of Natchez County of Adams, however you want to put it. But I am happy that it's coming, because I feel like that's gonna be a huge economic boost for the downtown area. When I say downtown, I mean all downtown. And everybody know what I mean when I say that. So I'm happy about that, and I hope and pray that the next thing that happen will be the airport going commercial. It'd be nice to fly right out of Adams County instead of having to drive to Baton Rouge, Jackson, or New Orleans. So whatever we can do to assist that, we are here for that. So Congressman Benny Thompson, Senator Hyde, and whoever, and Roger Wicker, whoever voted for Michael Guest, thank you wherever you are at. The last thing I want to say is I brought up that fuel, man. I do a lot of traveling, and I can't get gas hardly ever outside of Mississippi. So if we can look at something else to replace fuel, man, that would be great. I can't tell you how many times that I paid out my own pocket for gas because the fuel man don't work. And I do get reimbursed for it, so I ain't complaining, but I am complaining because I can afford it, but my guys, when they go to training and different things, they really can't. And so we had to get really creative to get them gas out of town on sick fuel man. So if we can consider another company to do that with, we all in the county would greatly appreciate that. That's all I have, unless y'all have questions for me.
Yeah.
Last thing, I don't have too much of an update for. I know Supervisor Gaines always asks me about this, the cameras. We were able to help the city get that list full for their grant. And so that project is moving forward. Matter of fact, they've actually started installing new cameras. So this camera's going up everywhere. And I'm so happy that the people that we contacted and that the city contacted really came out and let us pick those spots and put them on their places. So they've actually started installing cameras all throughout city and county right now.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Sheriff, that's good news, but it'd even be better news if they installing it in the crime areas. Just don't be putting it in areas that we don't have crime, because I had a shooting the other day over by my way, and I know we need some cameras over there. So make sure they put them in crime, where y'all got the data saying we got this much crime over here. Boy, I pray y'all get some cameras over there.
And that's the thing, you know, that is a key point you made in the areas that we asked for them to be at. They are crime areas. And we had to find people who had internet and power to make sure that happens. Because, you know, if you don't, the house goes significantly up and you have the power and get Wi-Fi to it. But those are great, and I hope the board still is considering those tag readers in certain areas as well. I'm gonna tell you, everywhere I've been, people are moving to smart cities. And it has changed, and when you look at smart cities, what you're seeing is they're getting smarter on the technology side, and crime is going down on the other side. It's because you don't have to rely on humans. And with the new AI technology that's out there with cameras these days, it's amazing what they can do. They got cameras out there that they're installing in cities right now that have facial recognition, you know, in the cameras. You know how much of a game changer it is? You don't have to spend hours and hours even trying to figure out who somebody is, and they can just run it through the software, and there they are. And we can just go confirm it. Just like when we asked for my budget this year, Polaris. I know y'all never heard of it, but what Polaris does is it takes us hours and hours to go through. Like, just take for instance, if I got your phone, that would be 80,000 pages of data to the least that we would have to sit there and sift through manually. But what Polaris would do is we can input certain key phrases in there, what we're looking for, whether it's guns, cars, whatever. And this new AI technology would actually find all that, log it, document it, and put it in a file. We can just click on it. So you're talking weeks of trying to read through 80,000 pages versus minutes of doing it. It's revolutionizing how we are able to use manpower and investigate cases. So I said that for you, County Administrator, keep that in my budget.
Sheriff, I know the last week especially, it seems like a lot of cases got finished.
Yes.
And some of them have been going on just forever, 2-3 years. One guy has been arrested 35 times for burglary, and he's been sent. So little by little, we're getting a lot of money off the county budget for taking care of inmates, because they're in state custody now, not in ours.
I'm so happy that backlog is getting ran through. I gotta give it to DA Cotton and his team, because they are actually pushing us, you know, on some of the cases, because they come so frequent. Matter of fact, I'm here now, they in cases right now. They in court right now, doing motions right now. He is really trying to get that backlog taken care of, and some of our worst of the worst are getting sent out right now. It's definitely helping over across the river. It's gonna help everybody who's dealing with them, because when you got somebody who is violent and just don't care, that some of those guys are, it is hard to keep good workers, want to come in there and deal with them every day, 24 hours a day, around the clock. So it's definitely lighting the load, and we're looking forward to getting the next batch going. So my hands off.
It makes it good for all the citizens realizing that our justice system is starting to work again here. And also for people that are thinking about committing crimes, if they're gonna go to state custody eventually, they're a lot more apt not to do it. So I commend y'all to finally get some of that stuff done and get some of these people out of here.
There's a lot of victims right now too, because you know, when something happens and you have to wait 2 or 3 years, and I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, let me be clear. I'm just saying, you have to wait 2 or 3 years for that stuff to come to court. it's like an eternity. I see Supervisor Gaines sitting there right now, he know exactly what I mean. You know how long it took to catch him, and then now the other clock has started on the rest of it. It's an eternity on a family who has lost a loved one. So I commend the effort of moving forward, making sure that these people, see their day in court or see their day before they're 12. So I'm excited. We like it for them.
Mentioning that, I think that's another angle that, the new district attorney, he has a victim assistance unit, so the victims know what's going on with their cases, and they keep them updated on, so they're not wondering having to call all the time. They actually get an update in a face-to-face with somebody with the district attorney's office.
Yes, that has been a plus. That really has been with him. He is surprisingly very open with that. And I deal with district attorneys all over the state. And his door, when he said his door's open, so I don't hear news about him. He should come to me about a case now, and it's because he got his investigators actually dealing with the victims, and that's huge for us. Take the load off of us. Let us do our job.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Appreciate y'all.
Mr. President, as long as the law is honest, open, and fair to everybody, I don't have a problem with it. We still living in a world where people can commit laws and they think they're above the law. So as long as the law gonna be fair to the little man at the bottom, just like they gonna treat the big man at the top, I ain't got a problem with it, because right now, we got two different standards for people at the top and people at the bottom. People with money and people with no money. Thank you, Mr. President.
Were you talking about me again?
I didn't know you could.
Look, any more departmental reports? I want to go off track just a little bit. I got a couple of things I need to do, and then I'm going to turn the board meeting over to Mr. Middleton. The one thing I got is I need a motion for Ms. Hutchins' travel to policy convention in Robbinsville.
I move that me and Ms. Hutchinson and whoever else wanna go, not whoever else, but only the board wanna go to the policy, in Tunica, that's dealing with Congress.
She's the only one that has paperwork.
You
need to look at that
Maybe
again.
another one.
I don't think there is. I didn't see another.
You didn't?
It's just her travel.
Just for travel.
Oh, I don't get travel.
Has travel, he doesn't get travel.
I don't get travel.
Okay.
I move
That's what that motion.
to approve travel for Supervisor Hutchinson.
You gotta prove it
For
for you.
Supervisor Hutchinson, Supervisor Gray too,
All right.
and I don't know who else going, just in case somebody else going to travel to, Robinsonville.
Okay.
Tunica.
From Mr. Gray and second by Ms. Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? Any nays? Motion carried. All right. This is a card from the spray and neuter of Natchez, thanking us for our donations. They seem to have done a lot of good work.
We're on probation.
And asking for more money? And these, I guess Stephanie needs to see this.
She's supposed to be collecting all the appropriations.
Not donations, appropriations.
Okay, this is Youth Container Gardening Workshop at County Extension. They'll be conducting a workshop Friday, July the 12th, 2024, Adams County Extension Office, 75A Carthage Point Road. The event is free for the first 25 youth that sign up. So, and for more information, Mr. J. Jones at 445-8201. All right, this is dropped in my, there's an inauguration for some mayor. Oh, that'd be Danny Gibson, I'm sorry, for the city of Natchez. July 1st, 2024 at noon. It's 1 hour away, folks.
1 hour.
Free at the Natchez Convention Center.
Was that the convention center?
Yes, sir. For all that. All right, do we have anything else?
Yeah, Mr. President,
Yeah.
that paper I gave you about that neighborhood watch, I think she wanted you to announce it.
All right.
That you and Supervisor James is gonna be there.
Okay, so it'll be in minutes. Neighborhood Watch Meeting, Tuesday, August the 13th, 2024, at 6 p.m., Parkway Baptist Church. Speakers, Adams County Board of Supervisors, Police Chief Cal Green. So any supervisors want to attend this meeting on August the 13th, I'm pretty sure I'll be there.
Mr. President, we explained to her that it was gonna be one or two, because if it's three, that's like a meeting, and we don't wanna do that. And you got the little card to give her a call and let her know that you.
I do have the card. I put it in my pocket, sure do. Okay. I got a travel voucher for, no, I just need to just sign it? Okay. All right, I think that's all I had. I went over most of my list, while we were, yes.
I think Mr. Net need to get something before you leave.
Good morning. Lynette Smith, Southwest Planning. Under the Adams County Rehab Project, we have, the contractor has completed 4 out of the 7 applicant units. And I have invoices for the home inspector as well as the contractor. Also with that approval, I have the final cost certification form that will need to be signed by Supervisor Gray, Gaines, and Ms. Hutchins. I need approval to pay these invoices.
These are on the 20,000. All right.
You need a motion for
I need
the
approval
approval
to
of
pay these invoices.
Motion by Ms. Hutchins,
Yeah.
second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gaines.
So, yeah, second, not discussion. So why are we signing, because if something,
The final certification, cost certification form,
it's,
it's stating that all work was completed, with the, I mean, I can let you all.
No,
but no, it goes through, for the president signs off, am I correct, Scott? Yeah, the president signs off, it don't, even though it's our project, but it's complete.
But it was based on the district, that each district
supervisor did
selected
that.
2 applicants.
Give me my.
Okay.
So that's why.
Y'all sign off there, it's in your district.
Come on.
If I have to sign, I'll sign it too.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Give me mine.
Okay, thank you.
I want mine to be paid. Come on.
Oh, we ain't finished, we ain't finished. He got to finish carrying the motion, it was a discussion.
You seconded.
I said he got to finish carrying, so we can vote. Oh, we good.
Oh, okay.
I had a motion that y'all.
Oh.
It's a motion already made.
No.
No, that was for the
Okay,
invoices.
when do you want me to come?
Me,
Oh,
the motion.
Okay, what time? What time? Okay.
Yeah, stop.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I made a
finish
motion.
carrying that, no, it's okay, finish carrying.
All
It
right.
wasn't a motion made.
It was,
For the invoices.
it was.
Pay the invoice. But didn't he got any discussion about who should sign them?
So y'all signed that.
And now the discussion's over.
No.
All in favor?
All right, now, we need another motion.
Yeah.
We need another motion to be able to, for me, Ricky, and Ann to be able to sign. So move.
Okay, second.
I need a second.
I need a second.
For y'all to sign. Second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carried. Is there a place for me to sign too, or?
No, she got no place.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. Yours will be completed, this week, just last week. The 2 other books. Okay, and let's
Sit.
Oh, sure. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Okay. Before I, turn it over to Mr. Middleton, does anybody else have anything that I need?
Yes.
Yeah. Public comment? Okay.
I was here about my home again. Went to get my tag. They have a hole on my tag. They said something about I'm on a garbage fee from the city of Natchez to Springs County, Simpson County. There's something going on with my address. I don't know what it is. I brought this to the board last month. I'm bringing it again. AT&T came out, and what they did 5 years ago, they moved a little landmark that's in front of my home to the side of my home. Across the street is duplex houses. On my side is single homes. I'm still having a problem with a duplex apartment. And I'm not the owner. We don't know what's going on. We need this needs to be corrected.
Where is this at?
This is at 2805 Roseland Drive.
There should be
My name is Tim.
You live in the city, isn't that correct?
I'm in the city.
Yeah, there should be an appeal form at the sanitation department. I may have it on my computer, we can.
I don't own anything. I don't even live.
I understand that, we gotta file something to say, hey, remove this, there's a form you gotta file, you've been in this issue. I'm gonna see if I can print it out.
What are we gonna do about my address? What are we gonna do about AT&T coming back, removing my landmark from the side, saying it's the city alley to back to my home, saying that this is my home address?
Are you in the city or the county?
I'm in the city. But my address has been moved to the side, and therefore it's an alley. And it's saying it's city property, I'm on city property, but I'm not. I'm a resident. I brought this up numerous of times.
What's your address?
2805 Roseland Drive.
Okay, I stopped by there the last time.
And I
you
can't
came
get my
here, and
tax.
I couldn't get anybody to the
Mr.
door.
President,
Yes.
that portion of the business she talking about need to be taken care of with the city. The Board of Supervisors cannot take care of that portion of what she's talking about because that's inside the city and that garbage bill is, I don't know why would they say you can't get your tag because of, you didn't pay garbage?
They have
Huh?
Ever assessed as county property, not inside the city.
This is what I have.
Let him read.
And,
This is Simpson County Tax Office.
yeah, but they say a Natchez address, my address.
Address is in Adams County.
Yes.
Do you have any property in Simpson
No.
County?
Sound like she need a lawyer.
Roll call.
2805 Roseland Drive.
Do you have an Adams County tag on your car?
I do.
She always had Adams County tag.
That address is really messed up.
That's gonna be up to the state.
Mr. President, do she need to talk to Terrence about that?
No, what I wanna do, as far as her, address being assessed.
About her tag.
About her tag, we need to file something, I'm trying to find the right form she's filling out.
So we're gonna pay a ticket if you do.
He's gonna try to find you the right form.
And also they were saying that AT&T, when I called, that I have somebody who's hooked up on you bird at my home, and because I don't have a code, I have no access to that home, to the codes and stuff, to where I can stop them from putting my home like a smart house.
Yeah.
Like they turn
So
around,
somebody's using your,
they doing everything with their phones.
that might be a crime that needs to be, but that's a city thing. Once again.
But I'm getting phone calls. They got the house for sale.
All right, Wes. Take over. Nobody else?
Yeah, I have public comment. I didn't know you had public comment, you already.
Yeah.
This is, I have to step out for you too. It's heard something to do with.
Like I finished.
Yeah, you need to get your letter from, your information.
Scott, so you gonna-
But I'm turning the meeting over
I'm trying to give you the right
to Wes.
Hold on one second.
So we ain't doing it. I guess, so you saying this, I guess, what this house. I guess so. To end this. So I don't really.
Yeah,
You go ahead.
You and your dad was the same, this is the same way. You know, he failed. I have copies for the board of supervisors, for the clerks, for the Lewis, for you, and for the deputy clerk, and for all members of the board of supervisors, and for you, Scott. Oh. Oh, good morning. I have in that packet, there are two things. One is a statement that I'm getting ready to read, and then one is a letter. Let me do the statement first. And this is from the Natchez branch of the NAACP.
President, could you identify who you are?
I'm trying to make sure I start right, okay? So let me start back again. Good morning. I have a statement in that packet, and I have a letter in the packet. I'm gonna start with the statement first. The statement is from the Natchez branch of the NAACP. My name is Joyce Arsenal Mathis. I'm the president. My address is 925 North Union Street, Natchez, Mississippi, 39120. My cell phone number is 601-807-4319. Members of the Natchez community, along with members of the Natchez branch of the NAACP, have been informed that the Adams County Board of Supervisors has been approached by Complete Oil Field Disposal to modify the current Adams County's solid waste plan. Through discussions with residents of Adams County, the Natchez branch of the NAACP feels that the proposal presented by Complete Oil Field Disposal poses a potential hazardous condition that could occur and affect the health and welfare of residents living or participating in regular recurring events in the identified area. The Natchez branch NAACP feels that this could be a dangerous enterprise. Therefore, in reviewing the demonstration and determination of need provided by the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, guidance for modifying a local solid waste management plan, step 1, preliminary actions for initiating a modification to the local plan, section B, preliminary review and consideration by the local government, specifically demonstration and determination of need. The Natchez branch NAACP does not believe that the proposal presented by Complete Oil Field Disposal meets the demonstration and determination of need. We further believe that the operation of the proposed facility will negatively impact the waste reduction strategy of the local government and negatively impact the surrounding residents and neighborhood. Therefore, the Natchez branch of the NAACP urges Adams County Board of Supervisors to deny the request of Complete Oil Field Disposal to amend or modify the county's solid waste plan. Submitted by Joyce Arsenal Mathis, the Natchez branch of NAACP president. Do you need any further identification? I have my driver's license, but I'm not gonna give you my social security number.
No, ma'am.
Okay. You also have in your packet a letter. So one was a statement, the other one was a letter from the Natchez branch of the NAACP. Again, it's from Joyce Arsenal Mathis, 925 North Union Street, Natchez, Mississippi, 39120. And it states that the state conference of the Mississippi NAACP will hold the annual conference in Natchez from November 6th through 10th, 2024. The Freedom Fund Basket is planned for Saturday, November the 9th, 2024, and will be held at the Natchez Convention Center. The Natchez branch of the NAACP is requesting your support through the reservation of a table which will seat 10 people. The table will be tinted to reflect the Adams County Board of Supervisors. The tinted table, recognizing the Adams County Board of Supervisors, will cost $800. Therefore, the Natchez branch of the NAACP is requesting that the Adams County Board of Supervisors sponsors a table and include this expense in your 2024-25 budget. We're trying to make sure we get it in early enough.
Please make your donations payable to the Natchez Branch NAACP. Thank you in advance for your continued support of the Natchez Branch of the NAACP. Sincerely, the Natchez Branch NAACP. Joyce Austin, Manager, President. That's all that I have.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Joyce, could you give?
It's right.
We're finna give it to
Okay.
Say it again.
The letter.
The letter.
Yeah, it's, I just did one letter, it's in an envelope.
We're gonna give it to her.
With the request for the appropriation, we should.
Yes, I didn't make one copy of that, I'm sorry.
Yes,
She go get it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. And y'all have a blessed and happy and safe 4th of July.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, y'all take care. Don't try to go in.
Sorry it took so long.
Any more public comments? No more public comments. We'll come to the table. Supervisor Gray.
I gotta get over here to my buddy.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Scott, I have 0 Ruby Lane out there in Cedar Lane needs to be cut. You have 15 Grafton, 0 Grafton, 200 Bravo, 211 Bravo, 211 Bravo, and 5 Prince Edition got a hole in the front yard and looked like AT&T ran those lines.
0 Ruby,
Yes, sir, 0 Ruby.
211.
5. 211.
What was it, 211 what?
Prince Edition. No, 211 Bravo. You should have that one.
200 Bravo, no, 211.
Well, add 211 to your list.
Yes, sir. And then 5 Presidential.
5 Prince Edition got a hole. No, Robert, help me out here. You got a hole in the front yard. AT&T ran some service lines or something down in front of those people's house. Now, Robert, on Wilderness Road, that tree across from 77 Wilderness Road is finna fall. And I think it's in the county right away. Next, I just want to congratulate the Sunday newspaper, the young lady, Ms. Mazik, who completed on the national stage. She is a graduate of Natchez High. We be representing Mississippi at the national level of the ACT-SO competition sponsored by the youth leadership with the NAACP. And I want to I want to thank the Samaritan individual that helped rescuing the kids from the Mississippi River. I read that in the newspaper, and I had a flashback because way back in 1990 something, I had to do the same thing and went in the river, but I wasn't successful. That individual drowned because he got in one of them holes and I didn't go no further. So I want to thank everybody that was involved in rescuing those individuals, because that could have been something bad for this community. I want to congratulate a friend of mine, Miss Angela Brooks, on her retirement. She retired from Purge, from Wilkinson County, Adams County, and I don't know what other county she worked in. My sympathy goes out to the McCain, the Reinhardt, the Shelton, the Adams, the Harris, the Jones, the Davis, and former Constable Willie B. Jones' dad passed, and that was Mr. Jones, and I know Coach Mark McCain from Cathedral, and my sympathy goes out to his family, and the Reverend James Beverly. My sympathy goes out to him and his family. And Mr. President, I think that concludes my report.
Ms. Hutchins.
77 West Wilson. West Wilson.
71.
We'll come back to, Mr. Gaines.
West Wilson.
Ms. Dean, do you have anything?
I do not.
Ms. Lewis?
I have a couple of things. We had a litter unclaimed body. We did post for the necessary 5 days. We have the form signed off on by the coroner, James Lee, and just need to have that approved and spread across the minutes, please.
So
Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
Since the board did accept that, we have an invoice from Riverwood Memorial Park and Cremation for $495 for the cremation of the unclaimed body.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
Ms. Hegwood presented this, the recap, but we do need to have it spread across the minutes and noted that they did provide it on the first meeting in July.
What was that, man?
The recap
Okay.
that Peggy Hegwood provided.
We need to delay it until they get the,
That's what I was.
they gotta get the mobile home and.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And she said she was working on it, I just texted her.
Okay.
But we'll approve whatever we got at the end of the meeting.
Okay, well, then I'll hold off on our board order until then too. Have the certification of completion for Verna Johnson for her Justice Court Clerk Spring Conference. I need to have that spread across the minutes.
Heard the request, and get a motion.
I move that we serve, spread across the minutes certification for, Bernard Johnson.
Motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
I have permission, or need to get permission for myself to travel to my annual summer conference in Biloxi in July, please.
You heard the request. Got a motion by Supervisor Hutchins. I'll second. You too slow.
I'm moving low sometimes.
All in favor, all opposed? Ayes have it.
Well, Mr. Grant, you say you're going to Miami?
Yep. Biloxi.
Oh, Biloxi, oh, all right.
It's Mississippi's Miami, that's what it is. And we did this a while back, but we talked with our auditor, and we have to do a publication of our audit every year to notate in the paper. And I just wanted to have that publication spread across the minutes, please.
I move that we have the publication spread across the minutes from our auditor.
Motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
The sheriff, I had an amendment to your, I guess it's to the handbook.
Yes.
On the policy, okay, I just need to have this amendment, that has been approved and authorized by the sheriff to spread across the minutes, please.
What was that?
The sheriff amended a portion of the handbook, and he has to do that in writing, and we have to have it spread across the minutes.
What was?
I can pass it to you.
Yeah, get us a copy of that and hold off till the next meeting where I can read over that. I don't know what I'm voting on.
I had worked with a company previously on doing some scanning for us. I've been trying to get you down here for a little while, and I had to do this in phases. But I am wanting to have all the will books scanned. That's one of the last records that we have that have not been scanned. And they've agreed to kind of let me do it piecemeal because of, funding and making sure that it's within my budget. So I have a contract to start the project and use what is within my budget and my records restoration to start scanning, or do phase 1 of the scanning the will books, but that does have to be signed off in my record. It is within my budget.
So is it a amount?
20,000. That's just to start. It should be a 2-phase project, so it'll be 20 from this fiscal year and 20 from the next fiscal year.
You heard the request. Can I get a motion? Motion by Supervisor Gaines. Second by Supervisor Gray.
They're gonna borrow $20,000 out of your account.
All in favor?
You don't need to be
All opposed?
And hang on, we'll figure out, make sure I had a big stack there, I think that's all. Okay, and I'll just hold off, we do have to do the July board order once the recap is presented. Yeah,
Were you okay with that, with sheriff's?
I need to read that.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that all we have?
Yep.
Mr. Slover?
I need a motion to authorize the president, attorney, and engineer to execute the certificate of right-of-ways for Burke Road.
You heard the request.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed?
The next step in that process is going to be submitted to both NDOT and to state aid for their right-of-way approval. Once they approve it, they can put it out for bid. Burke Road Bridge.
That or sheriff, or else you can get.
I wasn't sure if we had the contract approved on Bellwood levy that you submitted over to the page. Either way, it doesn't matter. I need permission to allow the president to sign the Bellwood levy. The cash is there in escrow that the company was gonna provide, and and there's a construction meeting scheduled for this week, but we need permission to approve that contract.
You heard the request of the attorney. Motion by Supervisor Gaines, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
I submitted an email, because after the last meeting, talking with Richard, some options about that airport grant. I think it's NDOT is going to fund about 80% of a new hangar, but the county or the airport has to come up with a match. They wanted to try to borrow money, but the airport doesn't really have authority to do that traditionally. Their proposal to cash flow it would have been through rents, and they suggested make about $40,000 a year if they build this new hangar. Another suggestion is there's one person that would lease it all, but they would want a long-term lease to do it. It wouldn't be really net gain for the airport if that was the case. One of the things that we, one suggestion we could do is give them the money and take it out of what we appropriate, and hopefully that we take out less than what they make, and so it kind of spurs them to kind of heal themselves.
With the airport,
Yes, sir.
you saying give them the money instead of, so you want them to take the money they get for the hangars and put back in their budget, and we take that appropriation that we give them and we take it out of that?
And we wouldn't take all of the appropriation, but we'd take a good amount, maybe $20,000 out of it.
Did you run that by them?
I think I did. I think I talked to Richard about that.
What'd he say?
I was like, well, yeah, that's what, it makes sense, because they would be making more money than what they would, what we would take away.
I mean, if they comfortable with it, I don't have a problem with it.
It's nothing artificial, that's just, and I don't want to make a decision now, I'm just getting y'all talking.
So it's 200,000
Yes, ma'am.
that they're asking for?
More or less.
And so how they supposed to retrain this back?
What we can do is say.
Hold up a minute. Could you just say what you said, the last recommendation you made?
Yeah.
In lieu of paying them $220,000 a year, that's what we appropriate. We could appropriate them, say, $200,000 a year. And so that way they're getting less and we're getting paid our money back, so to speak. But we're also encouraging them to, if they're gonna make $40,000, then they're still making another, they're netting out $20,000, if that makes sense. The hope is that they make more money eventually, they don't have to appropriate money more like we do with the port. We don't appropriate money because they make enough to sustain themselves.
Well, Scott, I thought Richard said they was gonna take the money that they was gonna get for the hangars, and it was gonna take about around 3 years to pay this back. And, I like that idea better than the 20,000 a year, because it'll take us
10 years.
Too long to pay that back. Now, what we could think about doing, take at least 20,000, then they put the rest on to what they was gonna get from the hangars minus that 20,000 and give us that, but we could continue that 3-year deal instead of a 20-year deal.
Exactly.
And so,
10-year deal.
and so on the other hand, the option was also in there that they had $100,000 worth of timber they was gonna cut that could be paid it off in half, so you would never have had it.
Was that part of the,
That's one of their ways.
That's one of their ways to pay it back. So actually, they'll be borrowing, you saying 200,000, but they're giving when the timber and harvest was cruised at more than over 100,000. So they was, from my understanding, they was planning on taking that money and pushing right back into it. So you let them let you get 100,000 right back, for the year.
I like that even better.
And then you could just take the 20,000 off the 200,000
So they got
and spread it out over that period of time, which would,
I don't like that part.
I'm talking about after they give us
That's
that
still gonna be
100,000. That's still gonna be
5 years.
Yeah, that's still too long. But
Well, the hope is that you just don't ever give them 220,000, give them 200,000 moving forward.
see, that's what I'm saying. It's still gonna be 5 years
So
with the 20,000.
Look, you get.
What I like is
But
this.
that's fine, that's what.
Mr. President, what I like is this, what Supervisor Gaines said, if they could sell the timber and get 100,000, pay us the 100,000, then once they start getting money for the hangers, then they pay us the remaining of that. If it takes 3 years to do that, that's fine, but they don't need, because the original plan wasn't gonna take over 3 years no way.
Right.
yeah, and
So it's gonna take them a year to build the hangars anyway.
yeah.
Right.
Before any money starts coming in.
And so, and then on the other hand, we have been pushing for the last 3 years to get our airport back up and going, and that's a significant investment. So, that would be an investment that we would, because the airport, you can get air service, it'll be self-sufficient. Fuel sales going up, even with the hangars. So that's our goal, is to make our airport self-sufficient like our port is, and then we wouldn't have to worry with that. So, I think that's a good investment that we need to help continue to get our airport back off the ground. Are you?
All right, go ahead, Scott.
So I'll talk to Richard based on what we talked about. So, great. I'll email you all too, make sure I understand.
You got 20 minutes.
We need an order setting the following properties for hearing on the 17th. 329 Southmore Drive. Sorry. 10 Dogwood Drive. .104 Hensley Road, 2129 Second Street, 109 Mimosa Drive, 14 Prince Edition, 200 Broadmoor Drive, 15 Grafton Circle, 28 Greenwood Subdivision Road, 104 Barb Street. Need a motion?
You heard the request, attorney. Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
That's it.
Ms. Washington.
Permission to spread across the minutes a change endorsement for the insurance to add those.
Say that again.
I request to spread across the minutes, a change endorsement for the traveler's insurance to add a dozer.
Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
Request for permission to do a transfer from the general county to self-funded insurance, fund, 501 for 500,000.
You heard the request. Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
Request for a transfer from excess tax bid funds to, general county to, for $63,840.
You heard the request, Ms. Washington. Motion by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Gaines. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
Yes,
behalf of the tax assessor, he had submitted, a pay change from last board meeting. They didn't submit it, they didn't come discuss it at this meeting, but, he changed the amounts. And I guess we'll need to revisit it today, but he's not here.
Do you have the amounts?
Yeah.
The patient, well, you could bring them up.
I think so. I do have the amounts for two of the individuals. It's Davis and Lewis. He had the pay rate of $16.60.
You need a,
A motion to approve the pay rate change. It went down from the last meeting.
I know you met with them.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the pay rate changes in the tax assessor office for Lewis and who?
Davis.
Davis.
And I second.
Motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Hutchins, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it.
A request for an item to be determined.
Okay. I don't have anything today. Kevin cleaned the, President Wilson cleaned the folder out before he left, and everything out on my list was handled during departmental reports.
You wanna check to see the Ms. Marlowe
Marlowe, do you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to see, we had submitted a final invoice on SAP
We approved.
0156.
State Farm.
Want to make sure that was on the docket to be paid.
We approved.
Yeah.
We approved it.
Right. I mean, it's a reimbursement. State aid has paid the money, so.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that the one you talking about?
State aid
46,000?
Yeah, 46.
It was approved.
Yeah, we approved.
It's on the docket.
Good.
We'll come down and get a little longer.
I couldn't leave without knowing that.
I could've told you that earlier, you could've been gone.